y'all already know why I'm here. We're about to have a discussion. I think that the world, the black community, needs more parents like Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, and people are just gonna have to stay pressed about it.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
Before we get to it, you already know the drill. This Tuesday, just like every other Tuesday, I am releasing my weekly podcast on patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Check out my description for that. Also, check out my description for my other YouTube channel where I'm talking about all kinds of nerdy stuff. I got some House of the Dragon news that I'm working on over there for that channel, and also I'm gonna be talking about this Attack on Titan trailer that just dropped. So fun stuff. Also, not safe for work stuff in my description as well. So this past weekend, over the past weekend, the NAACP Image Awards just happened, and it was fun. It was fun. We got to see a lot of people. Saw Brittany Griner and her wife. We saw Method Man and Idris, Damson Idris over there arguing over who's sexier. Issa's talking to Jonathan Majors, Angela Bassett winning Entertainer of the Year, which was really cool. Viola Davis, Ryan Coogler. It was just a lot of names and faces, and it was really cool to see like these black artists, these black actors coming together. Or what like this? I'm here for this. I'm here for this. But I think I'm gonna focus on one of the biggest moments of the night when Gabrielle and Dwayne were awarded the President's Award. And according to the NAACP, it is presented in recognition of special achievement and distinguished public servants. So of course, Gabrielle and Dwayne went up there to advocate. Like, of course, they're getting this award for public service. So of course, they're going to advocate. I'm gonna just breeze through what each of them said. Dwayne was just talking about that they are two people willing to use their microphones for what we believe in and what other families are going through, what they believe other families are going through. Dwayne was just like, I want to take this moment to publicly speak to our daughter, Zaya. Zaya, as your father, all I've wanted to do was get it right. I've sat back and watched how gracefully you've taken on the public scrutiny, and even though it's not easy, and we're talking about a child, right? Which is why I don't understand the vitriol that y'all have. Anyway, and even though it's not easy, I watched you walk out of the house every morning as yourself. I admire how you've handled the ignorance in our world that you face every day. Thank you for showing me that there's more than just one way to communicate effectively. He was just like, you taught me that I have to listen. My job isn't to create a version of myself or direct your future. And I love that line because a lot of people, I think a lot of people have kids. I've said this before, like that they want carbon copies, they want clones of themselves walking around instead of, like he says here, my role is to be a facilitator to your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Zaya, you've made me a better human by simply being who you were born to be, our baby girl. Thank you for showing us what courage looks like, blah, blah, blah. And then, Dwayne already said what they had to say, right? But then Gabrielle Union came in here and you could just see it was just palpable how fed up she was with y'all bullshit. I absolutely love what Gabrielle was saying. Will we fight for some or will we fight for all of our people? And that's the question that I have been asking over and over again. Like, you cannot say, oh yeah, black rights for black people, and you leave out a whole entire community of black people just because they're queer people. Get out of here. She said, let's just name a couple of hard truths. First, the intersection of black rights and the rights of LGBTQIA, trans and gender non-conforming people continues to be rough. That's a huge understatement. Even as I'm sure she's saying, as we as black people as a whole, like, demand equality at the top of our lungs, we consistently fail to extend our advocacy to protect some of the most vulnerable among us. Gabrielle talked about how black trans people are being targeted and terrorized and hunted in this country every day, and there's barely a whisper about it. She said that these are conversations worth having in ways that can actually build bridges and that don't fan the flames of hatred or division, that don't enable kids to take their own lives, that's what she said, to harm themselves. We are hopeful that we may witness a real shift in the fight for justice. Now, as usual, you had some people in our community talking about, I can't believe that the Ways are using their child or stepchild for clout. It's sick. And like, we could start a conversation here because I just feel like, as big celebrities as they are, like straight celebrities, there are many ways that you could go about getting clout than advocating for the LGBT community and advocating for trans people. A lot of people are still discriminatory against LGBT people. A lot of people hate trans people. So why do you think that that would be an easy way to get clout? There are easier ways to farm for clout than standing up for trans people. Like, what are you talking about? Like, y'all are sitting there dragging them day in and day out. Why would they volunteer for that shit just for clout if they didn't actually believe the shit? That's the first thing. The second thing, I don't understand how is advocating for a marginalized community who y'all love to drag day in and day out, y'all love to drag every single day. You think that they just signing up for it just for kicks and giggles and likes and shit? It's just like, y'all actually hate these people and they look like you. Some of the black community sitting here staring in the face of the people that look just like them and hating their ass, and you're looking at Gabrielle and Dwayne who are standing up for these people that y'all hate and saying that, oh, they doing that shit for clout. Bitch, getting dragged day in and day out for clout? A lot of people just hurt. A lot of people are hurt. A lot of people have fucked up ass family dynamics. So they're looking at these two parents defending their damn daughter, defending a community, and be like, how is that possible? A lot of y'all, I feel like a lot of the people who have such an issue with Gabrielle and Dwayne doing this shit is maybe they've had, or maybe they've seen some queer youth in their community, or like I said, maybe they have some queer youth in their family, and y'all fucking ostracized their ass. Y'all shunned them. I can't believe that you're sitting here, I mean, knowing that they're like black LGBT youth who are in the streets, who have lost their fucking family just because they queer, and it's such a big part of their personality, but yet it's so trivial. It's my sexuality. At the same, you see what I'm saying? At the same time, y'all have abandoned, y'all ostracized, y'all have excommunicated these queer youth, these black queer youth, out of y'all families, out of y'all communities. They in the streets, they fucked up, and now you're over here, I don't know if it's guilt or shame, you're seeing that, oh shit, these people, Gabrielle and Dwayne, are sitting over here defending they trans child, and then they look at themselves and say like, damn, wow, meanwhile I have left all these black queer youth out to just struggle and die. You know what I mean? And so instead of looking in the mirror and saying, hey, that shit's fucked up, we need to rethink the way we're approaching some shit. We need to understand that we are leaving these black youth out here to just fend for themselves, out here high and dry. Instead of saying, hey, we need to shift dynamics, people are just holding on to something that's fucking them up as well, because the same arguments that black heterosexual people use against black queers, whether that's religious, Bible, whatever bullshit, genetics, what's natural, all that shit is being used by racist white people against black people as a whole. That period. You're fucking yourself up as well by not sitting your ass down and using critical thinking and be like, oh, these are human beings and they are not hurting anybody. So what's the issue? And they love to bring up the invisible man in the sky until it's time to talk about premarital sex, until it's time to talk about you bitches eating shellfish and all this. It's like they love to bring up the invisible, George R.R. Martin written ass fucking epic fantasy as if that shit matters in the fucking first place. Just because you believe that shit, that's the bottom line, honestly. Just because you believe that shit don't mean everybody else can or should or will. But yeah, there were obviously like really supportive responses to what Gabrielle and Dwayne went up there and said, but there's obviously another side, the side that they are fighting, that's why they're saying this shit, the side that we're fighting, that's acting like they never should have gone up there and said that shit in the first place. I think it made those people very uncomfortable because, like I said, it forces you to look in the mirror. Are you really for black rights? Like, are you, because what y'all are doing when you constantly exclude and constantly ignore and there are black men killing black trans women every time we turn our heads. Like, what y'all are doing is operating off of the same kind of program of exclusion that these racist whites used to exclude you. It's one thing to have questions about something, it's one thing to not understand something, it's one thing to be like, oh shit, that wasn't going on back in my day, whatever, and then shut your ass up and learn something, right? But it's another thing to just spew fucking hatred. Look at the statistics of black LGBT youth and their suicide and their mental health and all that shit and their homelessness. Looking in these people's faces and be like, no, we're not gonna offer you community. No, you gotta get the fuck up out of here, simply because of the fact that, you're queer? Even though you black, just because you suck a dick, you gotta get the fuck up out my face. And I'm just like, bitch, it hurts coming from black people, period. But it especially hurts, like, especially when they're talking about like gay guys. It especially hurts when it comes from black women, straight black women. Cause I'm like, you mad at a black queer guy for sucking dick like you don't suck dick too. Dick's good, obviously. You over here all jumping on it. You see what I'm saying? Or when black men use the same kind of rhetoric that white men use, as if they ever going to socially be able to wield the same kind of white supremacist power that white men wield. You're never gonna get there, babes. You're never gonna get, so all of this hate and shit for people who are members of your own community is so, not only is it useless, but it is also self-destructive, bitch. If they're trying to exterminate our black queer asses, babes, they're not just gonna stop at the black and queer. They're going to go ahead and keep the ball rolling, bitch. You're going to be flattened too. Why can't y'all see? I don't understand why people can't see that shit. Like, it's like white women who voted for Trump voting against their own interests, thinking that they're gonna shit on a minority. Meanwhile, they're over here, you see what's going on. You know what I mean? They coming for the rights that white women have over their own bodies right now. And state governments and abortion and all that shit. So it's like, it's the same kind of thing, and I don't see why people can't see that shit. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we ain't that different. We all niggas, we all bleed. If we like sex, we like sex, okay? It's a human thing. Oh my God. As long as somebody ain't hurting someone, doing something fucked up to somebody, like trans people talking about their own body and their experience with their own body. You know what I mean? Queer people talking about their consensual fucking experiences. Meanwhile, y'all got these predators. Y'all listen to y'all bumping these predators, these straight predators fucking music. Making excuses for these fucking abuse, these heterosexual abusers. Y'all got bigger fish to fry, babes. Don't worry about Zion, Gabrielle, and Dwayne, they fine. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, because I will be up here preaching for an entire half hour. Thank y'all so much for watching. Like I said, make sure you check out my description box for all that content. Love you so much. And make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
You could blow me, I ain't the only, you so lonely, insecure.